Let's return to those accusations of Russian war crimes. Ludmila Denісова is the Ukrainian Parliament's Human Rights Commissioner. She joins us now live from Kyiv. Thank you for joining us here on BBC News. We have a translator, Elena, who's going to translate my questions and your answers from Ukrainian into English. So please bear with me whilst we do that. And the first question I want to ask you is that it seems that the situation is in Borodyanka is even worse than in Bucha. What have you found there?
Yesterday, I saw by my own eyes what was happening. The events were simply terrible. The crimes of the Russian Federation military against our citizens, that it's impossible to survive. Today, we're still demining, clearing of mines, the territory, and as soon as it will be possible to visit, I will visit there, definitely, and find out about all the circumstances, what happened there. But the first news are coming in that Borodyanka is almost destroyed. There are lots of those who are still under rubble, and we're thinking that there's still people there under rubble.
What further evidence of war crimes, though, that we have seen allegedly in Bucha have you uncovered in this latest town, which is so close, of course, to Bucha, some 25 kilometres away to the west?
You know, the military crimes, first of all, that's a Russian aggression against Ukraine by the Russian Federation. Today we have evidence of genocide of Ukrainian people, military crimes, their new munitions of the Russian Federation, and their new weapon is raping women. We have a hotline phone, 24-hour free hotline, and we created a group providing psychological support. And women have been calling that were held in Bucha together. There were 25 women aged 14 to 24 that were raped by Russian soldiers. 9 of them already died. That was also happening for a month. So these crimes will be investigated and every criminal will be punished.
And that is the situation as well in Borodyanka, is it? And what evidence have you uncovered of civilian executions, the execution of civilians in Borodyanka?
То бородянці вбивали цивільних.
Зараз ще відбуваються такі події.
Today, these events are still happening every day. Our army and the police are investigating the basements, and based on that, they will be providing information with regard to Borodyanka.
What do you want the world to do with this evidence that you have?
We want very much for everyone to support us and create the special tribunal for everyone, starting from war criminals, starting from Putin, President of the Russian Federation, and to the last soldier were punished, because unfortunately, as of today, the Russian Federation still is a member of the UN Security Council and has the right of veto. And our president is saying that. And they have to be punished, and the special procedure needs to be introduced. Please support Ukraine with regard to creating the new Nuremberg II, so that the military criminals would be punished and will be behind bars.
Russia denies these allegations. They say these scenes were fakes. They've been put up, they've been played out by you as propaganda. I just wonder very quickly what your reaction is to that. And then secondly, a video has emerged of Ukrainian soldiers shooting captured Russian soldiers in the legs. What investigations are you doing into that, and what will happen to those Ukrainian soldiers if indeed they have shot at their prisoners against the Geneva Convention?
Ви знаєте, які докази?
You know, what evidence do we have with regard to destruction of our people, of raping women and children? Yesterday, I went to Bucha and saw it with my own eyes. There were lots of facts and evidence. When you see a child's trainer, size 33, the tiny hand, what other evidence do you need? What can you speak about that? As of today, there are satellite images showing that the Kadyrov's fighters were there, and they were shelling on Irpin. I was there as well. I saw how those people were fired at with a lots of blood, puddles of blood. So, with regard to the fakes spread by Russia, with regard to allegedly Ukrainian soldiers torturing and behaving in this way, the way it was shown in that fake film. Allegedly us doing that to their prisoners of war. This is how they treat our prisoners of war. And our women, our 15 women which were freed, our military women, they were taken through Belarus to Bryansk and tortured, undressed, and they were trying to convince them, break them morally, make them speak Russian.
Forgive me for interrupting.
So
just to clarify, you're saying that the film of Ukrainian soldiers shooting Russian soldiers, prisoners of war, is fake?
How they were kept, and not a single Russian prisoner of war, not a soldier, not an officer, complained to me with regard to conditions they were kept in and the attitude towards them. They were only saying that the attitude from Ukraine to Russian soldiers is much better, that their commanders treating them as soldiers in the Russian Federation. And we are taking note of all the crimes with regard to our citizens, and we are prepared to provide evidence with regard to the attitude to our prisoners of war and the conditions with regard to the Geneva Convention of 1949.
Ludmila Denісова, Ukrainian Parliament's Human Rights Commissioner, thank you very much indeed for joining us here on BBC News.